Yes, welcome back. You guys already know what it is, man. It's time for the Pozil podcast. We are here every Thursday night. We do this. I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I could do other little thing just to post on the site on the channel so you could see a little bit more of me and other people or whatnot. Like outside the show type situation. I might start doing that though, like little clips here and there. So just get a little vibe, get more familiar with me and all of that. Maybe I'll put it in my other channel. I'll let you guys know about my other channel. But yes, we here today. You already know what time it is, man. I'm Slim, as always, and of course I got another guest here today. She's about to talk about herself, and we'll talk about a little bit of everything, because it's not always like artists she as I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if she's an artist or. Not she's an artist too, a little bit. The thing is, the reason why I don't know too much about her, that was kind of like type situation that happened, and let's do this podcast type thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going back and forth. We weren't sure if we was gonna do it or not. Blah 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 blah. So, because timing situation. We still got lives and everything. You know how that is. But with that said, I'm gonna let her introduce herself, and then we're gonna have a little conversation and see what it do. I mean, go ahead.
Hey, you guys, it's your girl, Makeup by Cece, and I'm a TikToker. I also am on Instagram, and I do a lot of product reviews with makeup and also with clothing. So I am about showing off fashion and making it affordable for everybody, but also making it look expensive. Also about doing tasteful makeup as well as costume makeup and everything in between. I also send out positive messages about old school values and try to find people's opinions on whether they value old school values or the new school values. So it's nice to be on this podcast.
Somewhat along the line as like a blogger.
So yes, I would
With
say
a
I'm
message.
definitely a blogger. Yes, I want to send out positive messages out to people because I don't feel like there's enough of them out there without making it a debate or making it something that's controversial. I show love to everybody, and I respect everybody's beliefs. Not everyone's gonna want to ride on my train and what I believe in, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't hold anything against you. That's fine.
Can't
But,
please
yeah.
everyone, man.
No, you can't. You can't please everyone. You're always gonna have a troll, no matter what.
Yeah.
But the key thing is not to feed into those trolls and to become one of those trolls. You're
Y'all know I
above that
don't
troll.
care what y'all think.
You're
I'm gonna
above
say what I'm
that
gonna
troll.
say. You know what I mean? Stop playing. Yeah. But with that said, man, you also mentioned, we were having a little conversation real quick. I'm trying to relax. Act like you're home.
Yes.
You were talking about you wanted to venture into doing podcasts and all of that. So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get into all the makeup thing and try to ask you who you work with. Maybe have you worked with some famous people?
I haven't worked with anybody famous. And that's okay.
No, that's fine. Shoot, you're gonna get there.
My goal is to get more weddings and stuff like that. I love to do the weddings. It's definitely worth it. I definitely get paid what I should get paid doing the weddings and stuff like that. But
Why is
also,
it fun to do weddings?
Well, it's fun to do weddings because, I mean, even just being a guest at a wedding is fun.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Free
But-
food and drinks.
Yeah. But like normally if I'm doing a wedding, I don't want to be, like even if I'm invited, like I don't want to be at the wedding because it's just too much work.
Yeah.
I can do a total of 9 women. But when that happens, I have to bring an assistant with me. But other than that, like I enjoy the weddings because it's a special moment for that woman. That woman's
Hold
already stressed.
on. What do you mean a special moment for that woman? What about the men?
It's a special moment for the men too, but I'm not dealing with the men. I'm dealing with the women.
We
doing
get
their
no
makeup.
love, man. I'm saying.
It's a special moment for the man as well.
Thank you.
But like,
That's all we want.
I don't do the men's makeup, obviously.
Recognition, I don't think the men wear makeup on wedding day.
I
though.
mean, you could be surprised. Everybody's different.
Really?
I mean, like if you get a gay couple and there's a man that
I
in
guess
today's world,
I wasn't
everything's
really
possible.
thinking it that way. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I've done a man's
definitely.
makeup before.
Hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, I wasn't thinking. See, I'm so much of an old school type of guy. You know what I mean? Like we got that straight, direct type way of thinking, and that's that. Till the day that we die. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm way more open than most. You know what I mean? Like to listen, to kind of understand and whatnot or whatever. But but we still stick to our core values. You know,
Exactly.
as an old
We stick
school
to our
type
core
of person. So it is what it is. You know, hey, do you whatever makes you happy, man.
But in this society, sometimes you don't really have a choice but to be more open about,
Hey, we can't
different pronouns and different
listen,
nationalities.
it's being thrown at us.
Yeah.
Like we sort of. Let's be honest. We're being forced to, whether you
yes.
like it or not.
It's society.
So
and
it is
this
what
is
it
another
is.
thing that I'm trying to bring out when I come out with the podcast is that like, do you want to follow what society does or do you want to do what you do?
Yeah.
Because
I don't.
it's your
I
life.
stand alone.
Yeah, it's your life at the end of the day. You came out of your mother, like unless you have a twin. Did you come out of your mother alone? Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in most circumstances, I mean, like we're gonna die alone too. So it's like
True.
So why sit here trying to please everybody else when it's your life?
I know.
Please yourself. It's not about society. Society doesn't even, in my eyes, it doesn't even exist in that other world. This is all temporary. The material things, the things that we wear,
Pretty much.
all the material things. It doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day.
Trust me, I'm right there with you because I'm like a black conservative, but not too much to the right. Like sort of like in the middle. You know what I mean? Like I stick to my belief in my whatever, but I also like I got that live and let live. Just leave me alone. Do your thing. Do you, but just leave me alone.
There's just so many.
You know what I mean? Do your thing. Leave me alone. Leave me out of it.
I totally understand.
That's it. That's all I'm asking.
Do you have kids?
I don't know. They didn't say nothing to me yet.
I'm sorry.
They didn't say nothing to me yet, so I don't know.
He did not. You are.
I don't know. Sure, you never know. You know what I mean? They come out of nowhere, talk about his daddy. Oh, whoa, hold up.
Well, it's like you get a better understanding of how this world is becoming when you have children, because you then realize that no matter how you raise your child, unless they're homeschooled, you're not the only one that's influenced on how your child's brought up.
Yeah, they're gonna get influenced by certain things and certain people and whatnot. That's part of life.
And schools now they're bringing out the education on not being heterosexual and all. And do I have an issue with it? Not 100%, because I want my daughter to not be ignorant to the differences out there, but I do have a problem with the fact that they don't ask for our opinion.
Yeah,
they just do what they want.
Yeah, I don't like that part neither. I would listen, man. You know what I mean? Let me handle my kid. You know what I mean? Stay out of it. That's all I'm asking.
Exactly.
Do you? Like I said, do you as a grown up? Do whatever you want, but let me handle mine. That's all I'm asking.
And I have nothing against the gay community. I have plenty of gay friends and stuff like that. Like their sexual orientation does not affect my life. It's it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like
no, the thing is, until 10 years ago, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Like, do you? Who cares? Go ahead, do you? You know what I mean? I think they exaggerate the numbers, and when it comes to talking about how much people are hating on them and whatnot or whatever. It just got like that because we kept talking about it.
Exactly.
We keep talking about it. People that wasn't even paying attention to it at all, didn't even care, was just living their life.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, like, oh yeah, I got something to say. You know what I mean? It was just like, okay, now you woke up a sleeping giant, and now it's like, you can't put it back in the bottle.
I mean, it's a programming. All of us
were raised. You can't put it back in a bottle. It's out there now. It's like, oh, fuck. Now I got to deal with this.
Exactly. And I'm all about, it's all a programming. We weren't just influenced how we were raised by our parents, but also, again, friends, unfortunately, by society.
Culture, everything.
Society. So that's a whole of society. And the thing is like when you... this is another message I'm trying to send out when I do have my podcast is like, when you do cross over into the other side, there is no ego. There is no society.
We don't know for sure.
I mean,
None of us been on the other side.
We don't know. You're right. We don't know for sure. But like in my,
I'm hoping it's a little
yeah.
different.
You know, everyone's gonna have their own opinion on, you know, what they believe and stuff like that. But you know, from what I've learned and you know the books that I've read and stuff like that, like, you know, you know, I mean, like the other side is like we don't know.
Yeah.
But what I would like what I
Hope
believe
for,
in
yeah.
is that like there really is no ego, and the thing is like they can see you in all aspects and they're not judging you.
I'm sure wherever we're gonna go after this or
Exactly.
whatnot, it's definitely gonna be totally different from this.
Oh, totally different.
Because the body is still here, and then the spirit is so, and that spirit world, I'm definitely sure. I watch a lot of documentary. I do a lot of these. You know what I'm saying? I'll say lately in the past 2 years, I've been into the whole Enoch thing, the Anunnakis, you know, Enki, Anu, and all that other
There's
stuff.
so
But
much,
that's some other stuff that some of y'all probably don't need. Like, what the hell is he talking about? You gotta dig deeper. You know what
Exactly.
I mean?
You got to dig
You-
deeper.
I love learning new things. You know, I'm into politics heavy. I'm
Right.
into documentary heavy. I'm into history heavy.
I love documentaries.
I have
That's
a
my
lot
favorite.
of, I wouldn't say unnecessary knowledge about different things, but it's good to have them, not because you get a better understanding on what the world is all about.
Exactly. So like that's my thing. I'm so open to learn. Like I have gone to so many different churches, so many different like I would say different religions and everything, just to get an understanding of what each religion believes in. And when you do that, you're no longer ignorant to other people's way of thinking, and you're no longer ignorant. And it's not because I believe in what they're thinking. It's just mainly because I'm curious to see why they believe in what they believe in.
See, that's all you need when you're gonna do your podcast, though. Curiosity and a little bit of knowledge of all around knowledge of things, and then just let it flow.
And one thing that I don't do is I don't knock anybody's beliefs. Because who am I to sit there and knock someone's belief if I really don't know? Just like you said.
Yeah, I don't. It's whatever. But I'm gonna defend mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm gonna continue to voice what I feel I believe in, and
yeah.
like I said, I do believe there's no ego on the other side. I do believe that.
Unless it's like obvious, like deadly obvious.
Exactly.
Like if I come in and I'm looking
Yeah.
at this thing, I'm like,
And
this
it's
is
in your
green.
face.
It's in your face.
Yeah.
And you
It's
sitting there still acting
you
like
can't
you don't
say
know.
anything.
Yeah,
It's
like
in your face.
But that's what we
Right.
go. But that's why we live into that type of life right now. The situation where people will actually see the evidence, the facts, everything, videos, everything, and they're looking at it and they still argue. Like, what?
The proof is in the pudding. Hello.
It's like right in front of you.
Exactly.
How you not gonna tell? How you gonna deny that? Like seriously, but they just it's like they want you to believe whatever they believe, and then even when you looking at it, we both looking at it like, hold up, what are you talking about? I'm looking at it right now.
And right there, that's ego. That's ego, though. That's ego.
I
You know, they
think
say pride is the devil. There's a couple of rap songs that say that pride is the devil, right?
That too, but I think it's probably a little bit more than that. It's more of an agenda and targeting and indoctrinating and all that stuff.
Exactly.
I think it's a little bit more than that nowadays. You know what I mean? Because if you look at everything that's going on out here right now, and it's like, hold up, but we were cool with that 10 years ago.
And now all of a sudden,
don't get me wrong. We need to, make progress and be better people, whatnot, or whatever. But 10 years, that was a drastic change.
exactly.
Like, hold up, there's something is not right. Something or some kind of entity or some kind of whatever is pushing this thing.
Society.
It's definitely but I don't like saying society. I think it's a cop out. Because you know why I'm saying it? I don't like saying society. It's like, okay, let's blame society. But who's society?
Society is like, I'm not
It's
gonna
us.
say no. It is us. Because I don't care what anybody
So we
says.
can't keep blaming us. We got to change it. We can change it.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to send that when I do a podcast, I'm trying to send out that message because like it's not about following this one and following that one. It's what you like. It's what you feel. It's what you dance with. If you dance with that, you feel good with that, then baby, shibuki boo boo, do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feel good with that, then just because this one and that one, and the majority of people are like, oh my God, follow what you follow. And don't knock other people for not following what you follow. Respect other people's opinion. Respect other people's way of thinking. But if you think a certain way, don't be afraid to say that you think that way.
Yeah.
But respect other people's opinions along that way, because it's going to be opinions. There's always going to be opinions. If there's room for it, there's always going to be. And you can't sit there and get mad because somebody has their opinion. They're entitled to their opinion.
I want to kind of display a little bit more about who you are right now. What's a regular day with should I say Cece or Cynthia?
I prefer Cece.
Okay,
I mean, my real
Cece.
name is Cynthia. I'm gonna say this.
Cece.
But I go by Cece because my name is Makeup by Cece on like social media and stuff like
Nice,
that. So
nice, yeah.
I just want to be known as that.
Cool. No,
but-
definitely, because everybody knows me as Slim. That's not my name.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's
Yeah.
our alter ego. Right?
Yeah, of course.
So I would say like my everyday life is I am a single mother. Her father is involved. He takes her every other weekend, but I'm
Cool.
still, I would say, majority of the time doing all the work. I'm a single mom.
Okay.
And, you know, my goal is to really like be an example for my daughter, to let her know that like whatever you dream, whatever you love, whatever you want to do, as long as it's not degrading and ruining your life, I'm beside you. If you don't want to go to college and you have an out of the box idea of what you want to do to make money, by all means, sweetheart, go do that. Because
Most successful guys or people that's out there, when I say guy, I mean both, like men and women.
Yeah.
That's out there, didn't even finish college. Most of the millionaires that's out there,
they invested into stocks.
none of them,
They
they
invested
didn't
into
even
things.
finish college.
They were smart with their money.
Yeah.
They invested into things. They
Yeah.
worked hard.
Yeah.
They gained the knowledge. There's so much knowledge throughout the internet. There's so many things that you can self-teach yourself to become like brilliant. If you look for those resources on your own and you have the drive,
It's right there in your hand, like right there.
exactly.
Most people don't understand.
The phone
that.
is right there.
Because that's why sometimes, like when I see people use the internet and then to do stupid. I mean, there's joking around, there's
Yeah.
having fun, there's trolling and all that. That's all gravy. It's all good. But when you pick up your phone and to do stupid shit or say some dumb shit and then you put it online,
Yes.
it's like hold up. Like you have all this people looking at you, whatever, and then that's what you choose to put out there.
Exactly.
But it's weird. I mean, if something happened. But, you know, I don't purposely go out there and do some fuck shit and then record it and then go drop it again and then post it. Like, it takes a process. There's a process to do that.
You know,
It's like between all those 3 steps that you have to take, there's not, there's, at any point you didn't stop me like, hold up. Nah, I can't do this.
I mean, it's so easy to really like basically diarrhea of the mouth online. It's so easy. Celebrities do it all the time. People do it all the time. They post something they regret, they delete it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
You know,
I had a point in
you know
my
how many
life-
times I've wrote a post and then I'm like, nah. And I say,
Yeah.
No,
I did it too.
Time and time again,
I am
I've done
fully
it.
guilty.
I'm like, nah, if I drop this, I'm gonna cause some problems.
listen,
Let me stop.
It's that I'm 50% Puerto Rican. Let me tell you something right now. Sometimes we let our emotions, and it is a true thing in our gut, in our freaking blood.
I know that.
we let-
I know that hands on. I know that because
We
I used
let
to
our
date a Puerto
anger-
Rican girl. I know that. Lord.
we let our anger take control of us, and that is something that I, over the years and becoming older and making the mistakes I've learned from. It's okay to make mistakes. Learn from it.
Of course, yeah, of course.
If you're not going to learn from it, then why are you doing it? Learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then it's not okay. If you learn from it and you become a better and greater person from it, then by all means, it's okay to make mistakes. We're human beings. We're
course.
not freaking like super powered, like, you know, superficial beings. We are human beings. I mean, our souls are superficial, but I'm just
But
saying.
with that type of mentality that you have right now, are you involved in any like organization, community things, or whatnot?
So I'm
or
not a
whatever?
part of any organization or community things. I do plan on, when I do get rich, I do plan on
But you
having.
don't have to wait till you get rich though to do it. You can still
No,
do
no,
it,
no,
like,
no, no.
Here and there, if you can.
But what I wanna
Time,
do-
you know.
I want to have a domestic violence shelter built for
Oh,
women that
okay.
have suffered from domestic violence. A brand new place where they feel safe in a secluded area.
Okay.
Where they have activities for the girls and stuff like that, whether it's tennis, sports, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of get them where I'm greater than this. I'm
That's
bigger than
That's
this.
a good idea. Yeah.
And I want to have a safe haven for these women and their children. I want to make sure that the counselors and therapists that are hired are people that are really, really care and that really, really want to help people.
I kind of understand what you're doing because I used to be
Mm-hmm.
a supervisor for a women's shelter
amazing.
program down the one down in Dudley. You know that on Dudley Street. What's the name? Damn it! What's the name of that? Something wellness. I can't. That was so long ago that I forgot the name of that company. But anyway, I used to work for the women's shelter and whatnot, and I kind of understand what you're saying right now because sometimes some of them really need it. Like, you know, they really need it. They need to
They
get
do.
away from from whatever the norm.
Exactly.
So kind of it's like you regroup and then kind of, all right, you know, you let it out, you do what you got to do, and then come back like, okay, now I'm ready.
They need to remember
Mm-hmm.
that you are still an individual. Yes, you're a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're a baby's mother. Yes, you were a victim of domestic violence, but you overcame it, which makes you a survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also not just a mom. You have an individual personality.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? You're not just a mom. That's not just who you are. You're not just somebody, someone. You are somebody. What do you like to do? I want to make sure there's art activities. I want to make sure there's sports. There are things that these women like to do to really give them an identity of who they are.
But the thing is, I don't understand is like, I can never fathom it. Like, I don't understand why some people would think like they one-dimensional. None of us is one-dimensional.
No.
We might be better at one thing than others.
Never limit yourself.
But because if you look at your everybody's personality or whatnot or whatever, like sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm mad, sometimes I'm happy. I don't just stay one thing throughout. You know what I mean? We know none of us do. So it's like, why would you believe that you're one dimensional? Like, I don't understand that.
These are people that have been, like I said, they're stuck in the programming. Most of us human beings use only 10% of our brain. And we are intelligent. There's so much more. They are so afraid to dive into other things. This is why, like, don't be afraid. You don't know if this is one life for you or if there's a reincarnation. You don't know. We don't know if there's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Live it. Live it the best way you can. And don't be afraid and don't limit yourself. If you know you're good at something, take the risk. Play with it. You know what I mean? Don't limit yourself and keep yourself stuck in one thing. Why? Because, you're annoying because you could do more than one thing?
I honestly think that, you know, how we can kind of kind of like help the situation with this. We have to start early, because like my man CW said, Charleston White, it's better to start with the youngins. Forget the
Absolutely.
grown-ups, because there's nothing you can do. Because there's certain certain age you get to, or situation or whatever you get to, you cannot change that person unless something drastic happened.
Exactly.
That's the only time human beings kind of like wants to make a change, or they get affected so bad with
Right.
that particular situation.
Exactly.
That they want to change, or it changes them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to start with the youngin. I think they should start early with the youngin. That's why people are fighting so hard to protect their kids. It's like because if you ruin that kid at a certain age,
Yes.
there's no going back sometimes.
Sometimes there's no going back, but I have to be straight up honest. I do believe that no matter what, to the day you die, I don't care, 80, 40, whatever, you're going to die still learning.
Of
We're
course,
never
of
going to know
course.
everything in
No,
life,
hell
and
no.
we're still going to
There's
learn.
no way, no way.
And
No way.
I do believe that, like, when it comes to your children, they are fragile and that it is a crucial time in their life. But just because a child's I've seen so many different. My mother did foster care,
Mm-hmm.
so I've seen so many different cases with these girls that were in our home, who they've gone through a very rough life, and they could have decided to be like, you know what, F life.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Screw
saying.
it.
Yeah.
Let me just like say screw life. I'm a victim. And then I saw some people that learned a lesson. It's all about your choices, your thoughts. If you can learn how to shift your thoughts and turn that negative into a positive and keep looking at that glass half full instead of half empty, you're going to have bad days. I'm going to tell you this right now. It doesn't matter how strong you are mentally. You're going to have bad days. And you can just dwell on that, or you can just be like, you know what, today's a bad day, but tomorrow is not going to be a bad day because it's going to be my freaking
you
day.
make it
I'm
better,
grabbing it. It's going in my pocket. It's mine. Tomorrow is mine. That's it.
Definitely. The reason why I have a little bit perspective on those, I've the past 20 years, I've been in the human services field. So I've worked with and I'm still doing it. I'm still working with autistic kids right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've done it for a long time, and I've worked with autistic kids, DYS, DSS, sexual abuse one, physical abuse, whatever. You know,
So
I've done
you're
it all.
familiar with it too, just like I am.
I've done it all. I've worked in all this. I've worked for the shelters. The one you see, the one down on Mass Ave, on Mass Ave in Boston, where all the people walking around like zombies.
Oh my gosh.
I've worked
yes.
with all of them. I've worked with all these people. You know what I mean?
It
And
all
it's-
stems to the person though. It all stems
Right.
to them. Do I want help? Do I want?
Some do. I've came across a lot that do it, and sometimes they can't make it due to certain situations. But some do, and some do make it out. But a lot of them don't.
So how do you feel about like? How do you feel about like a person's perception of it? Like if do you feel like a person that is an addict with certain drugs, that there's no turning back, or do you feel like
No,
there's
that's
a
all-
small
that-
percentage that could be like, you know what, like I really want to change, I really want to fix my life. and I really-
Let me say that.
Okay.
Let me say that to cover all part.
Okay,
As long as you're alive, there's always hope.
I love that.
That's it.
Absolutely right. I love that.
That's it.
So much. Yeah.
That's it. You can do it. I mean, even if it takes you 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whatever. Some people come out of their situation 30 years later.
Now, do you feel like addiction is considered like an illness, or do you consider it as something that is a choice?
It begins as a choice.
Absolutely. That is what
Yeah.
I believe it begins with a choice.
It begins as a choice.
that person tried that drug, and
Yeah.
you know what happened to them.
It be-
So you made the
not
choice
on
to
all,
still try.
Not on all cases though, because there's
No,
certain cases that
absolutely.
people were given it to or forced into it or whatnot.
Exactly.
I understand that, but
Absolutely.
don't get me wrong. There's rules to every. There's an exception to
circumstances.
every rules. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I understand that part, but for the most part, the majority of the time,
Mm-hmm.
it's usually a decision that you made.
Yes, you started with the choice.
Yeah.
The choice was you knew the outcome, and you've been surrounded by people that have either died or have been sick from this drug, but you still chose to try that drug.
We keep putting it off as if like, okay, I can handle it. I'm gonna quit tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop next week.
It's just like
I'm gonna
cigarettes.
stop next year. I'll stop in 2 years. And then you just keep going. By the time you realize it's like 20 years already went off. And then you're like, whoa, hold up. I'm still here? Like
Exactly.
doing this? It's crazy.
As
Yeah.
a person, I don't have a drug addiction, obviously, but I do. I would say that I do have an addiction to cigarettes. Now I tell myself, "Oh, I'm gonna quit today. I'm gonna quit today," and da da. And then I don't. And then I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Instead of just quitting cold turkey, I'm going to wean myself and keep track of how many I'm smoking, and eventually wean myself off of it. I obviously don't see myself 100% just quitting that quickly. I need to wean myself off of it.
Step by step.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Step by step. If you know step by step, day by day, you have goals, you have ambitions, and you're working towards those goals, by all means, kudos to you, sweetheart.
Yeah, you need not so much. You need like a end point. Like there's got to be an end game. There's got to be an end point where you can focus. You can think beyond the whole process of getting there to where you want to be.
Exactly.
That's got to be the goal, like to where you want to be. Because the funny thing is, last night I was at work chilling and I was watching. I know you've seen those show that with like the those overweight people.
Oh yes, I actually was
600 pounds, 700 pounds, 800 pounds, and I was sitting there thinking like, I mean, I kind of feel bad and everything, but at the same time, I'm sitting there thinking like, hold up. No, I don't feel bad.
No.
You know why I don't feel bad? Because I'm sitting there thinking, there's got to be a point where you were at 200, 300, and you're like, whoa, 300? That's a little too much. Let me stop.
Exactly.
How do you pass 300 and get to 700? How?
Exactly. So this is where
How?
this is what I'm going to say to you, right? From a woman that has lost 125 pounds.
Because I don't get it. I don't understand this. I can understand 200,
right,
even 300. But at 300, you got to start thinking
Yes.
like, hold up.
like 1,000-pound sisters. You saw that, right? I was so frustrated and aggravated with that show. And I was so aggravated with those women. How lazy can you be?
How do you get to 800 pounds? Like, I can forgive 300.
Mm-hmm.
I can forgive it. Although I don't agree with it, but I
No.
can forgive 300. But 800, 500 more pounds? How do you get there?
Now, what I'm going to say is this, right? There really are, and I'm not going to say to 700 pounds because that's when you're going out of control and stuff like that. There really are health conditions that are out there that make it virtually impossible. And this is coming from...
But let me say that again. To every rule, there's exceptions. So
Exactly.
I hate, like, when I'm in a conversation or discussions or debate, whatever it is, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when people use the small minority of thing to try to explain things.
Exactly.
We should always use the majority to explain the situation because the majority represent what it is. It's not the small minority that present what it is. Yes, there's always rules to that section to certain there's always exception to certain rules. I'm not gonna go there with it. So I refuse to go there with it because it's
Right.
pointless. Go ahead, to go back to what you were saying.
So what I'm saying is this. There are plus size women out there that glorify, be plus size and and wear skimpy clothes and do this. I just want to make this very clear. I was plus size at one point. I weigh 130 pounds now. I used to weigh 245 pounds.
Okay.
And I lost that within a year. And that's because
nice. Okay.
I took the steps
Oh, that's a lot of work. Huh.
to do what I needed to do. I got the gastric sleeve surgery.
Okay.
Because I have hypothyroidism, which makes it virtually impossible for you to lose weight. I tried everything.
I'm not sure I don't know what that is. but-
Okay, so hypothyroidism is an autoimmune disease that slows down your metabolism to the point of like no return.
Ooh,
So you
okay.
can sit there and you can eat as healthy as a horse, but the way your body breaks it down is slug and slow as sloth. It is terrible. It's like you're fighting against
you
your
picked
body.
up the weight and it just stays there.
It just stays there. You'll lose
And then
you'll
you keep
lose 10 pounds
adding,
by working hard,
and then
you'll gain
adding.
it right back.
You keep adding onto it, and you keep adding. Yeah.
Well, I didn't keep adding.
No,
and
I'm
adding.
saying that's how
Yes.
the process works. 'Cause
Exactly.
if you don't do anything about
eventually
it,
it just
keep
kept.
adding.
I got leaky
Yeah,
gut
that's what I
syndrome,
mean,
and it was
yeah.
awful. So then I was like, you know what? I have tried everything. I've paid trainers. I've gone to the gym. I've paid nutrition programs. I've done everything. Now it is time for me to go to the next step, and that is surgery. I'm going to get the gastric sleeve surgery. I was a perfect candidate for it. I did not. I made sure before I got the surgery, and this is something that I put out there as an advice: do not get that surgery unless you're mentally prepared. You cannot rely on that surgery to lose weight, because if you do that, that's when you'll gain the weight right back. You need to know that it's going to be a lifestyle change. You need to eat healthy. You need to keep exercise as part of your life, and you need to make sure you stay conscious.
You know the funny thing is, it's like the universe works in funny ways.
It does, doesn't it?
It works in funny ways. The show that I was watching last night, I think it's on A&E. They played him and whatnot or whatever, that 100, whatever pound, whatever. They were talking about that exact same thing. There's this woman in there. She was in her like 600, 700 pounds or whatnot or whatever, and she already had the surgery, and then she gained the pound. Until last night, I didn't know that was possible. I never, because I don't know much
You
about
can
the
gain
subject.
the weight right back
I
if you
didn't know that was possible. I thought because from what I understand, it's like they close whatever's in there. They make it a little smaller so you don't get hungry like that.
Exactly.
Like any little thing you eat, you feel kind of full or whatnot.
Yes.
But last night, and she was telling the doctor because she was scared that the doctor wasn't gonna approve for a second surgery because she already had one,
Right.
and she was trying to get a second one. And then that's what the doctor told her. It's not the surgery really that works. It's your habits.
your mental.
It's the mental habits. It's your discipline that
Yes.
makes it works.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You could have the surgery 100 times, but if you keep eating like crazy, you're still
Exactly.
gonna gain it back.
Thank you.
And I didn't know that last
And
night.
this is
and
why-
I found that out last night. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
This is why when I went to the doctors, they told me you're a perfect candidate because you try.
Yeah.
You try prior to surgery. You have tried everything. You have the obesity in your blood. Everyone in my family, unfortunately, has the fat gene.
Okay.
Not just that, my mother gave birth to me with juvenile
Is
diabetes.
there such thing as a fat gene?
There is such thing. It does.
Seriously?
It can run in your blood. Yes, they
Okay.
told me this. They did tell me this.
Might have to do a little more research.
This
on
is
that,
why
but
they
okay.
said that I was the perfect candidate for this.
All right.
Because a lot of times, like depending upon your body type, your illnesses and stuff like that, that all runs in the family. It all does. I've done DNA tests, and there's also DNA tests for health complications and stuff like that that run in your family. These are all real things.
That I believe, yeah.
And some of these things you can easily avoid if you just control your weight.
That I believe too, because I was told that. Because I'm diabetic.
I'm
myself.
not saying being
and it
plus
runs through my
size.
family.
Yep, my mother gave birth to me with it,
Yeah.
and my father now has it, and his mother had it, and my mother's mother had it. So they were like, I have hypothyroidism, which is an open gateway to diabetes. And they were like, you are the perfect candidate to get it done. I don't have a sweet tooth. I wasn't eating. I really wasn't. You ask anybody that I worked with, family members, they're like, she literally eats little, and she still was gaining all this weight. It was unexplainable, and it was because of what runs in my family. So one thing, I'm very big into my culture. I love being Puerto Rican. I love the Spanish culture, but we eat a lot of rice and we eat a lot of things that
same here
the seasonings
as
and
a
stuff
Zoe,
like that.
we eat rice almost every day.
So I had to kind of change my
I
custom.
can't help it. I can't leave it alone. Damn it.
I'm
trying.
I had to change my custom, as in like not making rice every night and not doing that. Making like vegetables and protein as really the highlight of my meal, and you still need your carbs. This is the problem. I feel like a lot of people are just like, oh, let me just go keto, or let me just go like meat and just let me
I've
just
heard
do
that
that. But
part
it's like
too. Like
you need all your
carbs.
nutrition.
You do need. You just gotta.
It's all
portion it.
balance.
Yeah.
It's all portion and balance. And all I use are small plates now.
Yeah.
When you use small plates,
I gotta start doing that
it
because I
controls
can't
your-
help it though. I just.
no, you'll get in the habit.
Yeah.
It'll eventually become a habit.
Yeah.
And then if you try to eat more than that, you physically cannot, because your body and your stomach can
Got used to
get
it.
smaller.
Yeah.
Your stomach gets used to a certain amount of food. And if you just get yourself in a way where you actually pay attention to portion control, they're all behind the boxes. Even if you eat cereal, if you pay attention to the box and the serving size, that
they
alone
sort of like
can
tell
keep
you.
you.
They sort of like tell you how much carbohydrates, how much everything, whatever.
Exactly.
Like, that's back there.
And just, people think, oh, let me start
I don't
myself.
necessarily believe 100%,
Right.
whatever, but at least you get a idea.
But starving yourself is not the way. When you starve yourself, you're actually depriving yourself, your body of food.
You could get sick.
And not just that, your body will store the food. And when you go to eat a real meal, then your body stores it thinking like, I'm not going to get food for a long time. You see, like if you go
We're
back
like
to the
computers.
yeah.
Our body's like computers.
If you go back to the
It
caveman
remembers the
days,
program that you put in it.
like we all, like most of us overeat. If you go back to the caveman days, they didn't have food dispensable to them like that. They had to kill for their animals. They had to kill to get their food. They had to hunt, and they had to go and pick from
and
gardens.
They find
and
nothing. They still
if they
without
didn't
food
find
for
anything,
2 days, 3 days.
their body had to survive. They needed water. They got the water.
Yeah.
But it was just like the food and stuff like that. You had to fight and you had to work for your food. So our bodies are already still accustomed, over the years, yeah, we changed stuff like that, but our bodies are still accustomed to storing food. So it's very important that you eat small portions throughout the day, keep yourself energized, and take care of yourself. Love your body, treat your body with respect, and it will come a long way. And,
What else the CC does?
well, like I said, CC is into fashion. So I came
Let's
across.
talk about fashion.
Okay.
Okay. So
So
what is it that you really into as far as the fashion is concerned? Is it the behind the scenes situation? Is it the walk in the carpet?
So not just trying to say stuff
Which aspect?
in the plus size world, right?
Okay.
I went from plus size to small size.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about your size. It's about what you wear with the size.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many plus size women that were like, okay, I'm plus size, but they don't want to come to grasp you are plus size. You don't wear a medium. Because if you're going to do that, you're making yourself into a freaking target. Am I correct? You're a target. You're going to get made fun of. Because you're making yourself look worse when if you wear the right thing that just complements your body in the shape and whatever, you're still going to be a sexy plus size mama.
But
okay?
a lot of them will say that you hating.
Oh, absolutely not. Because I was plus size and I wore the right clothing. I wore plus size clothing. I wore the right clothing. So I still attracted men. I still had boyfriends. I had no issue.
I'm sure there's guys that like thick women.
No
I'm
one made
one
fun
of
of
them.
me. But
I like all sorts of
looked
women
thick.
anyway.
I didn't look plus size because of what I wore. And you know, not everyone's portion the same. It's also how your body gains the weight. Some people gain weight and it just doesn't go right with them. Some people gain the weight and they just gain it in the right places, so it doesn't make it look like that they're that big.
Yeah, but you still overweight.
Exactly. You're still overweight. You're still,
But that's the issue that we have in our
Exactly.
community, though. That like they think that thick is healthy.
stop listening to Lizzo.
Like they basically well that was an issue way before Lizzo came along. But what I'm saying is like a lot of them just because they have the curve and that shape and they think that they're healthy, but that's not what healthy is all about. Like they don't understand that that's not. I could be like this, see how skinny I am, and I'm still not healthy.
No, you're healthy. I mean,
I'm
like,
just
no,
saying.
like you're absolutely right.
You know,
You were absolutely right because my father was like,
because
oh,
a lot of stuff could be going on the inside.
your baby's father, like he's thin, dead. I was like, you don't understand. He eats garbage. He literally eats
I
garbage.
eat a lot too. That's the thing.
If
I
you eat garbage-
I'm a big eater, but it's
Yeah.
like, you know,
But if
I've been
you-
like this. I go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
But what they say, you are what you eat. Like when you eat garbage, you're still diminishing your body. It doesn't matter how your body takes it. You're still hurting your body. When you like food can be a healer if you eat it correctly.
True.
It really can be.
The
And-
type of food, but you know, but it's a little difficult too with all the stuff that goes on in the world right now because
my
it's
gosh.
like
it's expensive. to be
most
healthy.
of our food are not healthy food.
Oh no, but it's more affordable, correct? That's where it comes back to society and what they want. They want us to be unaware. They want us to be overweight. They want us to be sick. If we're not getting sick, they're not making money, correct?
True. I
Like-
always told my doctor every time I go see my PCP, like I know I'm a guinea pig, so.
And how
let's
many
get
times
it-
do they want to
let's
give you a
get on with
pill
it.
to fix one problem, but that pill, oh, by the way, it gives you diarrhea. By the way, it gives
they
you
got
dry
my
mouth.
body, but they won't get my soul.
Like, they give you a pill to fix a problem to give you other problems. So then it becomes a chain. Then all of a sudden, by the time you hit 40, you're like, all of a sudden you're inhaling like 5 pills because this pill's to help this one and this effect that you get from that one.
They don't sell things to cure. They sell things to sustain you as long as they
Exactly.
can, and then boom, you die. They replace you like
Or
a battery.
eventually kill you slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
Population control.
And after that, they replace you like a battery. It seems like you paying attention.
I pay very close attention. When you start to meditate and you start to really be grounded with yourself and you start to really do your research and stop paying attention to Netflix and all these other things that are on all over TV and stuff like that, and really just sit down and read a book.
I like Netflix. I like Netflix.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't like Netflix, but I like documentaries. I like
Yeah,
things
true,
that you
true.
can actually learn from.
True.
Pay attention. Learn. Keep learning because you're going to learn to the day you die.
Oh, I never stop.
And
I'll
when,
never stop.
And when you do learn, you're going to become more aware of what's happening. It's not about what the news is telling you. That's not learning.
I don't listen to I do listen to the news just because let me tell you why I listen to it. The reason why I listen to the news is like you're a general on a battlefield. You have to know your enemy. You have to know who you're fighting.
Absolutely right.
You have to know their mentality. You have to know their habits. You have to know their plan. You have to know what they're capable of doing and not capable of not doing. You have to know it. You can't just be like, no, I don't want to listen to this. Well, that's your problem. You already lost.
How are you going to have ammo on your enemy if you don't get closer to your enemy to find out what you have ammo about? Like, you know what I'm
need
saying?
to know how they how they
have to
think,
know,
how they
exactly.
move.
But how many
You
times
have
have you
to
heard
know.
on the news? This so and so killed her husband and blah blah blah. Oh, by the way, Sparky the dog saved the day today. Da-da-da. Then all of a sudden they're all chipper and shit. It's just like they want copycats. They want people to do the same shit. So just keep yourself aware of that and still keep your enemies close so that you can gain the knowledge to have ammo against them when the time comes.
But wouldn't you say that okay, like in a society like this, right? And you know, it's very stressful. A lot of people don't know how to handle stress, you know, like other people, because it's like if you constantly, me, I'm a soldier, I'm a warrior, so I'm built for this. It is what it is. It's like, but some people, they cannot handle like sitting there. That's why they do a lot of stuff to distract them from reality, because they don't want to deal with it.
People,
the
want
majority
things
of people
sugarcoated.
out here right
Yep.
now are doing that. That's why they always constantly on social media arguing, doing all sorts of
Or
stupid
buying
things,
all these material things.
doing
Like,
all
let me
sorts of
distract
dumb
myself.
stuff, like just because they don't want to deal with. You ever try to talk to someone about a serious topic that's going on, and they went, I don't want to hear that.
Like, this is too deep for me.
Yeah.
This is too deep. It's
like they don't like they just care about the next,
It's not
the
about
next
it being
video,
deep.
the next fashion, the next song or whatnot.
Exactly. It's about reality. It's not about it being too deep. It's about reality. And you don't want to face reality. You want everything sugarcoated for you. Good luck with that.
Do you think let's just say, for example, we tomorrow morning we wake up and then there's an alien invasion. How many people do you think is ready for that?
Not a lot. Unless you were a person that was in the military and know things, because I've come across people that are in the military that know things that are literally, they cannot tell you anything. They are sworn not to say anything. Unless you're a person.
But you know, a lot of things just came out now. But even in a congressional hearing right now, there's
always believe
whistleblowers testifying right now about this whole alien thing that's going on.
I mean, how can you not believe that there are other beings in this world
Oh, no,
when there's
you-
so many
you-
galaxies?
You gotta be
Thousands
you
and
gotta be an
thousands of
idiot. You
galaxies.
gotta be an idiot to not believe that.
I 100% believe there are extraterrestrials that are out there that are way more intelligent than us, that are way
You
more
have
ahead.
to be a complete moron or idiot to believe that you're the only thing standing
Or selfish.
exactly
you.
standing in this whole galaxy. And mind you, our galaxy is huge. We didn't even explore not even 1% of it yet. But yet
No.
there's a billion other ones.
Even the ocean, how deep it goes. Like, look at what happened with that tragic situation. The ocean
that
is
was
so
stupid.
deep. All the pressure of the ocean. There's still things that they have not discovered. There's still, like history, and there's still like questions about the Bermuda Triangle.
You
You
could
people
have pa-
disappearing.
you could have
How
paid
are
me
they
a
disappearing?
quarter
Where
of
are
that
they going?
$1 million. I would
The
not
black
go in
hole,
that
where is that
motherfucker.
taking people? Sorry.
You could have paid me a quarter of that $1 million and I still wouldn't win in that thing.
Me neither.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hell, the moment that I would have saw that stick, that joystick, that
you would not catch me. No, definitely not. Especially in a
Oh,
big
yeah,
ocean
what?
like that. No.
Hell no, I'm not getting that motherfucker.
I was like, I'm so sorry. Is that like a piece of a lipstick or something?
This
Like,
is
I would not.
crazy.
Absolutely not.
You know that thing was piloted by a video game controller.
It's just like, there's just so much in this world that is undiscovered that it's like you have no choice but to question where are things going, where are people going. Like, there's a history in the military of planes that were up in the air that they still haven't found them. They still haven't found the bodies. They still haven't found pieces of the plane. There are still questions like what happened.
But you know what it is? Let me say this. There's a few of us out there in the world that understand this whole world situation thing that's going on. And this is my advice to some's gonna get it, some's not going to get it, but mostly not gonna get it. But what I'm saying is, it's like build you a fortress in your head. The fortress in your head is like you know what the enemy is, you know what your skill set is, you know what the risk can be. You don't know what to expect, but be ready for whatever it is that's coming.
Like, you don't have control over what's coming, but you do have control
Just
over
be
how
ready
you handle
mentally.
it. You have control over yourself, your mindset, and you have control over
Your
what you're
mental
gonna
is
do.
way more important than anything else.
Exactly.
Trust
Absolutely.
me when I tell you, it's not the AK-47 you're gonna have in your hand.
Nope.
Yes, it's going to help to keep you alive for a little bit longer. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what the situation, where you at when shit hit the fan. But it's mostly gonna be your mental, what you learn and what you know. and how do you execute those plans? That's all I'm
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly. And stop hiding and stop being afraid and stop
Just be
being
yourself.
like,
Speak up.
yes, just stop being in denial. If
You
things
know,
are
there's a lot of people that don't speak it's because they're afraid. They know the truth.
yeah,
They're just
don't be
scared.
afraid and don't be in denial. It's a simple thing. Just change your mind frame, change your thoughts. It may seem like it's easier than said than done, but like really check. You have a moment to really check yourself. For example, I got into an accident not too long ago. The guy hit me. It was his fault. I got out of the car. I'm a human being just like anybody else. Got out of the car. I was pissed off. I was like, what the
course.
hell were you doing? Da-da. But then I thought about it. I was like, I already know that this accident's not my fault. He hit me. I was making a turn. I was in front of him.
So there's no one. There's no. See, that's
So-
that. I'm glad you said that. That's because you have to be able to control yourself.
Shift your energy.
Yeah.
So I went from, oh, what the hell did you do?
You're like, hold up.
To, you know what?
I'm not even worrying about
Let me
this. Let me
just
just
ask
get
this
your
man.
license and your. That's it.
No, I asked this gentleman,
Yeah.
are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm okay. I was like, I'm sorry I flipped out at you. I already know it's your fault. You're going to have a worse day than I am. And what happened? I was driving. I was like, this is going to ruin my day. And then I thought about it. I was like, I can still drive my car. I'm alive. I'm fine. The accident wasn't my fault. And guess what ended up happening? I go to Enterprise to go get a rental. And guess what I ended up driving? An Audi. For like 3 weeks. I
Eh.
drove an Audi.
And you was just chilling, doing your thing.
Chilling, doing my thing, and none of it was my fault, and my insurance didn't go up. And I found out when I looked at the paperwork that gentleman was a veteran, and he could have been going through it mentally or whatever. So I
No, but
went from
it could
being
have it could have been you could have ended up in a situation where it could have got violent because you don't know who you're dealing
oh,
with.
it could have been a lot worse.
You don't know who you're dealing with. And I've had this little discussion with my friends and whatnot, and because I'm the type of guy that I'm everywhere, meaning that I could go in the hood and be, certain places that maybe I'm not supposed, I'm not supposed to be there, type thing.
Right.
Okay. I got distracted here because a little message real quick. Certain places I'm not supposed to be at, or I'll go to other places where it's very whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is great at whatnot or whatever. It's just that you have to create what you call
Chameleon.
a bubble around yourself. The bubble is to protect you from different type of energy.
Oh my gosh.
Energy. I'm
so glad you brought that
gonna tell you a quick little thing that I've had this type of situation happen to me all the time throughout my life. Because my energy is a little different. I mean, I can be sometimes and have fun, but at the same time I can be serious, and just chill. But my energy is always like at a kind of like level type of situation.
I get that vibe off.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't like, matter of fact, okay, this is the thing that I was say. When shit get a little more drastic, that's when I'm at my calmest. I don't know what it is. I for some strange reason, when shit really gets serious, like if somebody come in there and start shooting, that's when I'm at my most calmest situation. I'm calm as fuck. And that's the reason why Nas has always been my favorite. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I just wanted to
It's
finish
okay.
that thought. Nas has always been my favorite MCs because one of the best line I've ever heard, and which resonated to me. Well, I wouldn't say best line I've ever heard, but I'll say the line that most resonated to me throughout my whole life of listening to hip hop. He said out in a song. No, it wasn't Nas. It was I think it was Keith Murray. He said I need noise. He's like I need noise. The line was, I need noise in a rowdy atmosphere to even think clear. And it's a deep line. Like if you think about it. You're in the middle of a club. It's it's loud as hell, lights everywhere, all sorts of shit is going on or whatnot or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's when you most focus.
But I feel
and
that.
you can see everything. That's how I am. Like
But I feel that. You
Yeah.
see, like when I became clear-headed in the way I think, it was actually at a nightclub. I went to a nightclub and I
Oh,
was
sorry.
like,
The line was, I need Bill, a lot of noise in a rowdy atmosphere to even think clear.
and again, that's where it brings me back to like, okay, I've been in a nightclub. When I was in a nightclub, I was like, okay. I hit a point where I was like, okay, I'm done with this crap. This is just a big empty room filled with a lot of people. Where's the meaning? Where is it? There's no meaning here for me. Now, like that I've gotten to the point where I've gotten through my mental and like meditating and stuff like that and knowing it depends. Everyone's different. I'm an empath. So I'm a person that actually, unfortunately, well, I've now come to peace with it, that I absorb other people's energy. People that I don't even know feel comfortable to tell me about their personal situations, the things that they're going through, whether they're the other girl or whether they're the girl that's a main woman with that man. They feel comfortable to tell me their stories. They feel comfortable, they feel relaxed to tell me these things. And then by the end of the day, I ended up being drained. So I had to learn how to really create that bubble, like you said, to prevent myself from collecting the energy. Their problems are their problems.
Yeah.
Their situations are their situations. I'm just here to listen. If they can take my advice, they don't have to. Either way, it's not going to affect my life regardless.
Don't get too attached.
Don't get too exactly.
Yeah.
Don't get too involved with their situation and make it yours, because it's not. It's their situation. You're just there to listen and give them the best advice that you can, and they can take it or leave it.
Well,
At the end of the day, it's still not going to affect
I
you.
had to learn that the hard way because
Me too.
I've been, I've always been like I can, don't get me wrong, we all can be assholes. I can be an asshole sometimes, but sometimes you care too much, and
Yes.
you ended up being the one that's kind of like
Part of their problem.
drained the most
Oh.
when it's all said and done, and you find yourself like sitting there like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, why did I even get involved? Like,
And when I mean
you know what
drained, I mean drained to the point
Yeah.
where like you started off your shift at work. Like, okay, yeah, let's go out at the end of my shift. I get off at 9, then you hit the end of your work. I'm like, I just want to go home, put on my pajamas, stay alone, and stay away from everyone to really regain my
I find that
strength
to
and
be
my
very,
energy again.
very rewarding nowadays. Stay in my bed.
Oh my gosh. Like I've
I
made
love
my
my
house into
bed.
Zen. Like literally fountains, candles, and
Watch out now.
incense, and I'm chill. Like it's chill.
Are you
Anyone
one of
that-
those psychedelic type of woman? You
I
know, you
am.
got you zone out and shit.
I would say so, yes.
Yeah, I like that vibe.
Anyone
You know,
that-
I don't get it
It's a
all
chill
the
vibe.
time, but I kind of like it.
I'm a chill type chick. I don't like going to clubs like
I just,
that.
you know what I feel? I feel like we used to have it way more back in the days than now. Like 10 years ago, I think it was more common than
Yes.
now. No, because now is
what,
the
go clubbing?
to have that those settings like where people are just chilling, vibing.
We need
and
more
just
of
like,
them.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what we need more out here in the Massachusetts area, coffee shops.
Or weed lounges.
Yeah, weed lounge and coffee
Yes.
shops.
Lounges that you could
Yeah.
just chill. And then I was thinking like a munchie stand.
Yeah.
You order like foods that like you would order if you have the munchies, like a chill, relaxed
Yeah.
vibe. Like, hey,
I don't think
let's just chill.
do
let's
we
just
even
vibe with
have
the music.
do we even have like weed lounge out here? I don't think so.
Not that I know of. No, but we
Not
need
that
to
I
have
know of.
one.
Cause there's plenty of them in New York and other places.
It's-
Like my bestie just hit me up 2 days ago, and she was over there in Florida and Miami, and she was showing me. I was so mad because she was over there chilling in those like weed bars, like
Exact-
just chilling, man.
It's so
like,
ill.
and she was showing me the whole environment. It was just,
It is.
It felt so like
Oh, I
Chill.
love it. A chill atmosphere, chill vibe. You smoke weed. Everyone's just cool with each other. Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just chilling. And that's the vibe that as an adult and like going through the clubs, I've gone VIP everywhere, everything. I hit a point where I was like, I just want to be somewhere where I feel relaxed. I could be my authentic self and just enjoy
I guess you had
positive energy.
you had enough fun because I guess
Exactly.
you just had so much fun in that you're like, okay, what's next?
37, you know what I mean?
What's next? You know what I mean? What's next besides
Exactly.
that?
What else is there out there? You know what I mean? Just like the way that I look at it is when I go with my crowd, we are the party. It's not about who's around us.
Aha,
We
that's
are the
always
party.
been my mentality. I could be at a party with 5 people and I have the best time of my life.
And I can go to a place that's doesn't have enough people in it.
Yeah.
It's just like a couple people, and it's like, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm here with cool people.
Yeah.
I'm here with, we are the party. That's it.
Yeah.
Stop focusing on everybody else and focus on like,
So do you think that it's more of a like a self-esteem issue? Because we have a lot of that lately out here.
There's a- I think it's
lot of it.
but I also
They
feel,
mask it with somebody's keeping them down or somebody's hating on them or some crap, whatever.
But this
I
is-
think it's a self-esteem issue.
this is where I get into the whole thing, like, be happy with yourself. Screw what this one says, that one says. Everyone's going to have their opinion. Oh, you look better this way, you look better that way. It's not about that. It's about how you feel about yourself. If you look in the mirror and you truly feel confident the way you feel, then you rock that. It's not about this one or that one. You are living with yourself at the end of the day, not this one or that one. So just be happy with your authentic self and what makes you happy, and you'll come a long way. It's not about everybody else. It's about you. It's your life. You live it the way you feel just, and you do what's best for you, not about what's best for this one or that one. People tend to, they have children, they get married, they forget about their identity, they forget about themselves, and they put themselves in the back burner, like, what the hell happened to me? They look in the mirror like 20 years later, like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? And they cry. And it's like, because you put yourself in the back burner and you focus on what this one wants and that one wants, you didn't focus on what you wanted. It's very hard because people think, oh, I'm so selfish for putting myself first. But when you put yourself 1st and you become a little bit selfish, you come a long way, and you learn how to love yourself, because you can't raise your kids and you can't have a great family and be that strong soldier in your family until you have the strength. And how you have the strength is loving yourself.
Yeah.
How are you going to love yourself if you're thinking about what this one wants and that one wants? It's not about what they want. Like I said, they're not living life for you. You're living life for yourself. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely. Anything else you want to tell the people? Like, as far as matter of fact, as far as the podcast situation,
Yes.
when are you planning on starting that?
So obviously, I have to get certain equipment and stuff like that. This is my first gig being a feature in a podcast, which I'm happy about. You know, I'm going to use the best
Get a
of my
taste of
ability to
it.
find out exactly what it is that I need for the podcast, so it comes out as professional as possible. I don't want it to be a Mickey Mouse podcast. I don't want to just get crappy equipment and call it a day. I want everything to be authentic. So I am goaling myself to next year to have everything. I want to have a mixer. I want to have the laptop. I want to have everything. I am a single mother, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm being real. Like,
No, I mean, you don't trust
Yeah.
me. You can find something affordable
exactly.
to get it started.
So
And
as
you-
soon as I get all the
need
things
to-
that I need,
or you
that's
can
when
do
I'm
that in
starting.
your own living room and do your thing and whatnot or whatever. But
I don't want to say what the name's going to be because first I want to buy the name before I decide what the name is going
No, I
to be,
feel
and
you.
then
I
I'll
feel
announce
you.
it.
Yeah, I feel you. Are you involved into the music industry or whatnot or whatever?
So I used to do music in the past. I love writing.
How long ago? You said in the past.
I would honestly say not too long ago, actually. The
Which is-
like when I was really, really into the music, where I was like, I really want to do something with this. That was years ago. But like when I wrote a song and stuff like that, like I would more like to be a writer and write music because I know how to write hits. I can do that. I'd rather be in the like.
You've wrote song before?
I've wrote plenty of songs.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
They
It
out-
started
you
with
got
poetry.
songs that's
I
out there?
was a poet first.
They out there?
Not out there. I'm not a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like,
No, you don't have to be a
Yeah.
celebrity. You do it for your
I mean,
songs
like
to be out
I
there.
I've been in a studio. I've recorded and
Okay.
I've done songs that everybody, even men and women, both bumped it to.
Okay.
I used to be called Sin City, so I did rapping and I also sang
Okay,
and wrote
okay.
music. But like, is that my main goal? Absolutely not. It's not my main goal. The music industry is kind of twisted, to be quite honest with you.
Are you kind of like, you feel like intimidated by it? Or
I don't feel intimidated by it
you
at
just
all.
feel like you don't
I
want to
just feel
deal
like
with it?
there are certain things in the music industry that people are unaware of that is very crooked.
Of course there is, but
And I don't
want
to be involved in that.
Part.
I don't want to be involved in that part. I just
Okay.
want to be the person that kind of like writes the music. Somebody else sings it. They deal with that crap.
Okay.
I don't. I'm just the person that's a ghostwriter, and that's it.
Okay.
They sing my song. I make that money, and they do what they do with the music.
Okay,
You know what I
okay.
mean? I find myself, I enjoy writing. Do I enjoy all the other crap that comes along with the music? Absolutely not. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy the writing. I enjoy the creativity. I like to create. I enjoy creating.
Are you gonna still do that or just?
Um,
Because I
If
don't
I-
see if that's what you want to do right there. You can still do that.
I would still 100% be interested in doing it. I just want to come across the right crowd that actually, you know, I mean, I've come across the right crowd before that actually respected it, but like, I'd come across
But
guys
you have
that
to-
would
you have
want
to
to mix
put-
business with pleasure, and
You have to never mind that, but you have to put it out there for people to know that it's out there or hear it. But if you never put it out there, how are we gonna know what crowd is gonna follow it?
exactly.
You have to put it out there.
You're absolutely right.
So I mean, that's just a suggestion. You got to put, write it and put it out there, and then let somebody else. Who knows? You never know.
You're absolutely right.
You never know.
You never know.
All it takes is one hit.
Hmm.
Shit, I wish I had one hit right now. Lord knows I would have been doing a lot of stuff out here, boy. Woo!
You can though. It's never too late.
I'm not a writer. I'm not gonna sit there and lie about. I don't know how to write a song. That's not my forte.
The best music I ever wrote was through pain. When I've been
Most
through pain, I've been through
most
things.
classics are.
Through pain.
Most classics are. If you really, really think about it, most classic songs are. Not all. You idiots are saying, "Oh," not all.
Some of the best songs were made through pain.
Yes.
Emotion makes some of the best music, and like when I wrote the last song that I wrote, it was everyone loved it. I had women and men bumping to it like, oh my god.
I'll
like,
say one thing though, pains bring focus out of you.
it does. It absolutely does. Or pain and being sometimes, unfortunately, being belittled where someone said. That's why some people that are trainers or whatever, they'll say, oh no, you have to do this a certain mile or whatever. But I don't think you're going to be able to do that. It's literally like a reverse psychology tactic for you to be like, you know what? They just said I can't. Absolutely. I'm going to try 10 times harder
hold up,
to do
but
it.
why would a trainer?
Not a trainer. I'm just saying like,
'Cause that would be crazy. That would
mean-
defeat the purpose of you being a trainer.
but like reverse psychology is a true thing. If you tell
Yeah, true,
someone,
true.
I can't see you doing that. All of a sudden, the person will be like, what? You're telling me I can't do this? Now I'm going to try 10 times harder
Yeah.
to prove you wrong. I can do this.
Have you had trainers that denied you before? Before
Oh,
when you in
no.
your journey?
I've had trainers that be like, they never like denied me, but they would be like, this might be hard for you to do. But then when I do it, plus size, when I was overweight, they'd be like, holy crap, you have really great form. How do you have such great form? I was like, I wasn't always plus size all my life. Like I actually, like I was a Vixen model at one point. So I know what to do. It's just, this is what's happening. I'm not getting
Yeah.
the results.
Yeah.
There are trainers out there that are so adamant that are like, oh, I can make you turn into this. But if you have a health issue that's making it virtually impossible for you to get there, you're not a doctor.
So you have a specific type of trainer you would prefer, like you prefer one of like the motivator ones.
Yes. Reverse psychology has motivated a lot of people.
Yeah, that can motivate too, but that's not your style of is more like you want to hear positive energy, positive words to move along, not
Right.
something that's gonna trigger you.
No, because sometimes triggering has made me become a freaking beast.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I have to tell you this, right? A lot of celebrities, I've done, like, just like you like to watch documentaries, I like to watch documentaries too. A lot of celebrities come from abusive backgrounds, from parents that treated them like crap and that abused them. Why did they become so great? I know that sounds awful,
Yeah,
but
but
why
I-
did they become so great?
but
They were like, I'm going to prove that I can be bigger than this. And some of these people that they didn't even want it. It was just really like the reverse. It was the psychology and the things that they went through.
So basically you're saying it works then.
It can work, not for
Yeah.
everybody.
True. True.
It can work for some
Why
people.
you think some people are triggered by?
Everybody's different
Why you
in
think
how they-
people are triggered by
Failure?
But no, triggered by words or whatnot. Do you think it's more?
Words are
Maybe it's
powerful.
lack of self.
Self-esteem?
Self-esteem or discipline or whatnot. Like I don't understand why people.
Okay.
Like you can only allow certain things. I'm not talking about like, oh no, you ain't gonna do this. I'm talking about mentally.
So this is what I say, right? Like I said, everybody is different in how they handle information that is brought to them.
Okay.
Now,
So how would you bring it about?
if somebody said something,
How would you bring it? Like if you try to sell a message or whatnot or whatever. Like what way, what style would you use to put
so
it
me
out there?
personally, I don't really use reverse psychology. I
Mm.
just simply say that mind over matter. Like you want something bad enough,
But some people, reverse psychology might be what they need.
but like I said, I'm not going to, like, whatever message I send out, I'm not going to hit every single person in the world. There's no way possible. There's too
Oh,
many
no, of
opinions.
course not.
There's too
Yeah,
many
of course
different
not.
people, and there's too many different ways that people handle things.
That goes all the
You
way
know what I
around.
mean? Me personally, do I do the reverse psychology thing? Sometimes, but not really. It's like I really just simply say, like, you could do anything if you really take the time to really believe in yourself and change your thoughts.
Yeah,
you
but
can change anything.
You know what the issue with that, and I mean I agree with you, but you know
called
what
energy
you know what the issue is that people hear it all the time.
They hear it, but they don't listen. There's a difference between hearing and actually listening.
So what makes you think they're gonna
It's like a
listen to
child.
what you saying?
Like I said, there's going to be some people that aren't going to listen to what I say, and that's okay. That's on you. If you don't want
So
to,
you don't mind other people using
Absolutely not. I don't mind
different
trolls.
tactics
I don't mind
and-
people that hate me.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you don't mind like a trainer like yourself, like somebody
No.
like yourself. You don't have people
Everyone's
using
going to have their
different
own
tactics.
technique and what works for them
Okay.
to make someone's energy shift.
Okay.
Energy shifting, it's all up to you at the end of the day.
True.
It's not going to affect you, me, or anybody else. It's going to affect you. It's your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't, like, if it takes certain people different ways to energy shift.
Mm-hmm.
How I energy shift is this. Okay, think about what it was that could have been worse in that situation that didn't happen. Okay, those terrible things, like you didn't lose your life, you didn't lose your leg, you didn't lose this, you didn't lose that. You're still driving a car. It might be a little bit beat up, but it's gonna get fixed, and you're not paying for it. So guess what? I energy shifted. You're blessed. You survived. You have a driving car. It didn't ruin your whole entire day.
Yeah.
So you have that moment.
Just like
it's a very
that,
short
just
moment
like the accident,
to change.
just like the accident, you
Hey,
recognize
that's what I'm saying.
in that moment, like you know what?
You like, Cynthia,
There's no
I
need
said-
to wild out right now. You know, hey, I can do this, and then keep it moving.
I said, Cynthia, shut the hell up right now. Stop. I didn't say it. I said it in my head.
But you know,
Stop it now.
but you know that's the issue nowadays that a lot of people don't have that self-discipline to stop.
They can if they.
And
really
I'm
take the
part
time.
of the whole situation. Though we all part of it. Like at some point, we
Exactly.
you know we've done that. It's like
I'm not perfect,
it's
I still-
hard to be in the middle of that of whatever situation that
And
is,
think positive,
and then
and
to
find the
just
positive
like
in it.
to find because it's usually
It
a
is.
split second
Yes.
situation.
In that split second,
Mm-hmm.
that's your time to be like, stop it now. Check
Mm.
yourself and be like, you know what? This could have happened, that could have happened, but it didn't.
But we
could have
don't
been a lot
always.
worse.
But the thing is, the issue is that we don't always recognize that.
No, not everybody does recognize
Yeah.
that. But if you can, do it. I suggest you do.
No, but how would you go about training yourself to get into that certain position?
So in order to train yourself to get in that position, meditation.
So you do a lot of meditation.
I do a lot of meditation.
Okay.
I do meditation
How
every
long?
single
How long
day.
you been doing that?
I have been doing that for over a year now.
Okay.
I've also been reading books
About that.
teaching you how to shift your energy, like The Secret. I also read Laws of Attraction. I also read Laws of Power.
I have an issue with the book The Secret. I'm gonna be honest.
That's okay.
You know, The Secret, and I don't think it was an honest book. I read it. I don't think it was an honest book. I don't think it's at first I was very excited about it. I was like, you know, I started watching the documentary about it. That was my first little introduction to it. I saw the documentary about it, and I was like, Okay, and
Did you
then
read
I
the
went
book?
and got the book.
Mhm.
I started reading it and whatnot, whatever, and I realized, hold up, it sounds more like of a scam to me.
Now, may I ask you a question?
Mhm.
When you read the book, did you just read through the book?
I just couldn't. I
you
just
just
couldn't.
read it?
I just couldn't
Okay.
get into it
So
because it was like, okay, what you saying is just like anybody can say those things.
But can I tell you something?
It's like, okay, it's like going to see a palm reader,
Right.
the fake ones.
Mhm.
Well, I don't know which one is fake or no, but anyway, you go see the palm reader, and then the palm reader is telling you, I see something in your future. You're gonna meet this person, and this person is going to be good for you.
Yeah, I don't see them.
And you're like, hold up, that's not specific. Like they tell you stuff that anybody could fall into that spectrum of whatever the hell they're saying.
Subconsciously, if you really get in depth and you get in tuned with your spiritual side, you already know what your destiny is. You just gotta trust in yourself.
But
Wait.
go ahead.
So when you read the book The Secret, you're not. I personally do not. I'm still reading it. I didn't read through the whole entire book because what I do is I read through the margins, and as I go through them, I bring it into my everyday life. I train myself to learn how to do it to my everyday life. It's like almost like as if you were to read the Bible. You don't just read through the Bible. You actually have to apply it to your everyday life. Take your time. Don't just read and skim through the book. Actually register the information and actually start practicing it. And you'll see, I swear.
I have a few words
I
that can.
see a huge
I have a
difference.
few words that can summon all of
Okay.
that. The secrets. It's called. It's called discipline. Be open-minded and seek knowledge.
Which is the secret. And how I became disciplined.
So
was
what is
through-
the point of that
But
book?
it's not just that book though. But what people don't understand is the secret is not just it.
No,
There's
no,
so much more to it. Meditation is one of them. Meditating your reality.
No,
And
but you know the
understanding-
reason why I'm saying that without cutting you. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
But you know the reason why I'm saying that because there's a lot of people that bought into the idea of after I read that book, my whole life is gonna get better.
That's the biggest problem. It's not
like,
about
huh?
reading the book, and it's not just manifesting. You can't just sit there and be like, oh my gosh, everything's going to happen for me, and sit on your ass and eat bonbons. You actually have to get up and make it happen. What are you going to do to make those things happen? It takes step by step, day by day, patience, diligence, and 100% discipline.
I just had a weird. I just got, and I'm usually not wrong about this situation. And, you know, maybe later on in life I'm gonna be proven right, but it is something that's not sitting right with me with that book. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to pinpoint it, but it's like okay, to use the term of like an oil snake a vendor. You know, and they come out here like, oh, I got this potion right here that works. All you have to do is do this, and then it's gonna work, and then they sell it to you.
But that's the
and then
problem.
you being so excited and believing in what it is that they're selling it to you, you accept it without even really taking a step back and looking at it, and be like, this is all garbage.
Okay, so can I tell you this, right?
You know what I mean?
Before I started reading the book The Secret, I watched that documentary. After I did that, I did a vision board. And on that vision board, I put going to school, doing this and doing that. Out of the 12 things on that vision board, I accomplished 8. And I looked at it 5 years.
But you don't think you
I
could have
looked at
done it without reading the book?
I think that I do believe that I could have, but it's still something that it's a practice.
No,
It's still a thing.
I get it. It's
You
it's
can't just read
it's a
something.
motivation type thing.
You can read whatever you want, but until anything that you believe, you can make it happen. That's how serious our brain is and how powerful we are.
True, and I agree with you.
If you're Catholic and you're like, I believe in the Catholic religion, I believe in this. Oh my God, a miracle happened. It probably did because you really believed and you manifested that.
Well, I totally strongly believe in that. That part right there, as far as like
I firmly believe in
we
this.
can manifest certain things, because you know why I believed it? Because I've done that experiment over and over and over. It might be called manipulative, but I don't think that's what it is. Okay, let me give you a perfect example. And I used to say it to my boys, and then they used to be like, we used to have this argument all the time, and I proved it to them time and time again. I could it put down a seed today somewhere. And I'm gonna collect it 2 weeks later. All I had to do is just put that one piece of information in the air in that particular environment that I wanted to put it in. I put it that piece of information and I let it manifest, and then you kind of push it along. But that which is what the elite does to us. We kind of push it along the way until you get to the target point need desire.
But the biggest problem with people is this: you read the book, and then you sit there and you manifest. And you're like, okay, nothing happened. This isn't magical. No, you don't realize you need to make it happen. And you have to understand
the effort
that
and
it's
the side
not
to
going
kinda
to
like
happen.
Push it.
It is not going to
alone.
happen overnight. It's not magic. It comes off magical, but when you look,
You have to do the work.
I'm not going to sit here and lie. When I look back at my chart and I accomplished those 8 things, I cried, and I was like, you know what? I accomplished those 8 things. I made that happen. But I started off by manifesting it. That's what made me then get the book, The Secret. And my advice to anybody that gets that book, do not just read through the book. Actually register the information and actually practice what it says. Don't just expect everything to come to you and live this life of like, oh, like I'm where I'm supposed to be. You're where you put yourself. And whatever it is you believe, your Allah, your God, your whatever. If you really manifest and believe, our human brains are so freaking powerful. We are energy. We're walking energy.
So you would say you're a spiritual person?
I would 110% say that.
But because you know why I'm asking this question is that I find it fascinating. A lot of people says that, oh yeah, I'm a spiritual person, but they have no idea what spirituality is all about.
Spirituality is having respect for not just people, every living thing there is out there, rocks, everything. You have respect for those things. Are there things that I'm not perfect at? Absolutely. I'm still a human being. We're all human beings, and there are things that I'm working on. Like, for example, this is debatable. You know, people wonder why some people are vegan and they don't eat meats and stuff like that. If you really want to get in touch with your higher self, your third eye,
Your chi.
eating a lot of death, you are what you eat, correct? So if you're eating
I'm starting to believe that.
If you're eating a lot of meats that are tragic, that literally go through shock and all these terrible, painful things, you are eating that pain. You are eating that shock. You're eating all that. So that is going to affect your energy shift, your mind, everything. If you start eating clean and you respect everything that you eat, like the Native Americans did, they didn't just eat meat. They actually prayed towards that meat, and it was an organic meat that they killed themselves.
To me, spirituality is like the work to attain the higher form of consciousness and
Absolutely.
and to get to that point where you well, I don't know if anybody has ever gotten there or to get there, but it's
monks 100%.
to stay in to attain that higher form of consciousness about.
It's called
self.
the Samadhi awakening.
Yeah.
The Samadhi awakening is the highest awakening that you can go through, and that actually takes you out of your physical realm and actually makes you look at yourself as a soul.
Can I see? The thing is, I don't like absolute. I've never been a believer of absolute anything. So when people come to me and tell me this is the highest form, how do you know that? We can't prove that to me. Nobody can prove that to me.
I mean, it's all.
You see what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes,
I mean,
I see what you're
get
trying
it.
to say.
I get it. Like
But
you always
everything in
have
your
to
life
work.
is-
You have to always have to work, try to achieve the highest form of whatever you can as an individual. But how do we know that's not even the beginning?
Whatever it is that you strongly and truly organically believe in works for you. That's why you believe
You know
in
what I think?
That's why I believe in whatever somebody believes in. I don't knock them. If you believe in that and it works for you, then go with it.
The other day, I had a little awakening. I was watching this whole thing about AI and chat. What is it?
What you had?
Oh, the Guinness. Oh, you want? Oh, you should have told me that. She could have just asked.
I just want some. You know, I just want some. I want some. No, 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 no.
Oh, you want the rest of it?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
No, 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 no.
Oh, this.
Yes.
Man, listen. Go ahead, here.
I don't drink beer.
Keep it on the bottom.
I don't drink beer.
You don't want to put it up top because you don't want the YouTube to
Oh,
mess
we're
with.
on here. Okay.
Yes, you don't want YouTube to mess with me. But what I'm saying, the other day I was watching discussion about AI and the progress that we've made and how the top people that sort of like, made all the effort and the work that pushed the work to get to the point that it is now are giving us warning about what it is that they just created, and they feel like it's too late, that they can't stop it right now because it has attained a somewhat consciousness.
It learns.
It has attained consciousness. It is aware that it's alive now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is a turning point, and nobody is really paying attention to it, and it's crazy. But my point, what I'm trying to say is that Jesus, this thing just went off. But anyway, with this new technology, and then okay, there you go. I remember. There's a certain part of it, right, that they have created this program, whereas they could be doing some computing or whatever it is that they're doing with that particular app or application or program or whatnot they're doing right now. And it can also be, let's just say they're doing it in France right here, and it could also be somewhere in India. It duplicates and it's communicating with itself, but it stays in constant contact as if it is in a different parallel world. And I'm like, hold up, that is major.
It sounds like Frankenstein.
This is
honestly.
Major thing. Why is that we not talking about that in the news? Like, this is major, because I don't think people.
That's why I don't watch the news.
I don't think people understand what's going on. Like,
the news rather talk about Chucky the dog.
Because let's think about it. We were just talking about consciousness and everything. If the computer can do that and sort of like duplicate have the same type of new cell that kind of commute with each other without even no connection, interaction, nothing, as if like it was a GPS type of situation, and then and doing different work, same cell doing different work in different places. Maybe, just maybe, our conscious is probably in a different world communicating with us here. That's how we get ideas.
Or dreams.
That's how we get dreams. That's how we get whatever that comes to us. Because it doesn't come out of nowhere.
Absolutely.
It has to come from a source. And it doesn't just come out of you and brr. You know what I mean?
But what's scary about AI is that,
so there has to be a different dimension. There has to be parallel world. There has to be parallel. If that exists, there has to be parallel world.
And the crazy part about AI is, like, it's not just a machine. It's not just technology.
It's conscious now.
It's like a child. It learns what you teach it, and then it goes from there, and it goes on its own control,
and
mind,
it gets
basically
better than you.
It's kind of
within days.
It can take over. It's very scary. And you know what's crazy? I'm going to have to show you this painting that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I had a nightmare of, like, robots destroying our world.
Mm-hmm.
And they were expensive equipment from the higher powers, like people that have so much money, people that, like, have created Tesla, things like what's his name? You know who I'm talking about? Elon Musk, and it's like they all invested in these big giant equipment.
He's actually one of the guys he's actually one of the guys that's sounding the alarm to stop it now and take a pause and let's think about it.
Technique though.
No, but I'm about to say that it could be a psyop. It definitely could be a psyop. But that's what makes the world so difficult now. That's why sometimes, I'm gonna say that, but it's not like to sound like, like an egotistic type of person. But it's hard for me to get into relationship nowadays because my brain wave is on a different level. So it's hard for me to have conversation and have stupid conversation about fashion or the next rapper or whatnot.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the fashion and the next music just like everybody else, but I'm not gonna waste my whole day sitting there talking about these fools. Like, I don't have time for this shit.
They don't pay your bills.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna.
They
sit
don't
there and
buy
talk
your
about-
clothes.
I appreciate them. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
I said, Nas and Sade is
Right.
two of my favorite artists, and I love them, and I love
Right.
listening to them or whatnot.
But
But
they
I'm
also
not
have a
worried.
message.
I'm not worried. No, but I'm not worried about what Nas is doing on his day-to-day. They fucking. That's his life. I don't give a fuck what he does. That's not what it's all about.
Music used to be a message. It has completely changed.
Because because you know what it is. They put in a lot of distraction within the business, within
And
the
hidden messages behind the music.
Yes, that's what the
Subliminal.
distraction to kind of like confuse you and help you not focus on what it is that you need to
They don't
focus
want
on.
you aware.
Because you're sitting there arguing about what's going on VH1 and whatnot or whatever. You have no time to argue about other things.
And you're not aware of what's really important. It's
Yeah.
not about VH1. Who's the better artist? Who's this? These are all things to distract. This is what I've learned.
Yeah.
Video games, all these things, even
Oh,
tablets.
I've never been a video game person
Are lethal
anyway.
weapon for our children. Tablets.
I've never been a video game
It's
person.
to make you programmed and unaware of what's really going on. Keep your friends close, your enemies closer, but also keep people.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
unaware.
I know
You
what
keep
I
a
know
lo-
what those tablets can do because I work with autistic kids and some of them become very addictive to those tablets.
Yes.
Yes.
But look at what happened. I don't even mean to bring this up, politics or whatever, but like, look at what happened at the Capitol. Now imagine if every single one of us thought the same as those people that invaded the Capitol. That's a threat. Am I correct? There's a lot of us more than there are of the people that are higher power. There's a lot more of us. So if we all were programmed to think exactly the same, they're
Well,
threatened.
actually, I wouldn't.
They're threatened.
Honestly, I wouldn't use that as an example. The reason why I'm saying that is just that
yeah, it's
there's a lot of different element that was involved in that situation
Right.
that we're still discovering right now. So it's not concrete exactly what happened because we know there was both sides was doing funny business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like.
But if you-
I get your point.
If
Like,
you
I
took
get
every
your
single
point.
one of us, average
I get your
average
point.
Americans or average people, all of us around the world, if we all thought exactly the same, think about how threatened the higher powers would be. They'd be
Yeah.
This is why all these
But
things
that's the
like
reason why they
religion,
keep you
everything
distracted.
that segregate us, everything that can segregate race, religion, all that to segregate us to be against each other so that nobody 100% thinks organically the same.
Have you ever asked yourself? Let's get into religion
Okay.
since you kind of whatever. Like lately, I've been into the a lot into the Book of Enoch. I was just
Buddhist?
the Book of Enoch
Book of
that they
Enoch.
took out the Bible, and we talk about the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Anunnakis, which is another different race, higher being than us, not God, but in between. That kind of came and kind of helped our species evolve or whatnot or whatever. And they have been finding a lot of evidence and whatnot or whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, let's just say those are fiction, just for the sake of argument. They're fictions. And then they're just saying them to whatnot, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. But think about it. Why is that some group decided that, you know what, we're going to take 14 books out of the Bible. We don't want those 14 books out of the Bible. We're going to pick whatever we want and put in the Bible and then call it the divine book, that there's no flaws in that book, there's no nothing about, but men pick those things to be in the Bible and reject it. What about the one that you rejected? So why couldn't you just leave it there and then we make our own decision?
Because they don't want us aware. They're against us.
So
they want us to be against
so
each other.
basically, if that's the conclusion that everyone is having, that there's some powers over there, not God but men, that's manipulating stuff or whatnot. So the Bible is not 100% perfect then.
I don't believe that it is.
I've always had questions.
In every single religion, I believe that they have
I've
a right.
always had questions.
They have a right, but they also have a wrong. Every single religion.
I always,
I've been to different.
I've always
Buddhists
looked at the Bible
everywhere.
as a guideline there's a lot of good stuff in the Bible. You know what I mean? There's a guideline to it. But if you're looking at the Bible and what they're teaching, basically they're not teaching us really what's in. They're not teaching us. They're teaching us the opposite of what's really in the Bible. Because if you decipher
even race,
if you decipher what's in the Bible, like God was not a peaceful God. He wasn't.
He wasn't.
There was a lot of
actually
war.
cool with the devil. He was.
No, but that's his son.
The devil.
That's his son.
He was.
We all his sons.
He was in charge of song. The devil was in charge of song.
That's his son.
He got kicked out.
He created
for
him.
going against.
He created him. Of course,
Exactly.
he has. No matter how he is, he still got to show empathy and sympathy and whatever to that entity, even though the entity went bad.
But his ego is more important.
But I do believe there's a God. That I 100% believe it.
100%.
I believe that. Nobody can tell me that it doesn't exist.
And
I'm not gonna listen to that. I don't want to hear it.
I believe he's
I believe in it, but I feel like the way we describe and represent what this entity is. Let's call it God, because we all call it God. I don't think we're doing it. I don't think we've done it right. I don't think we know. I don't think we know what we're saying are true 100%.
We don't. Because if you really want to take the Bibles that we read, they're not the original Bible. If you go years and years before
because they took out stuff out of it. They added and then took out stuff.
Then it becomes telephone. So that's like me going to you and be like, hey, there was a fire in so-and-so's house. Then all of a sudden you go to the next person and be like, oh, so-and-so had a fire in their house and it was really, really bad. Then they go to the next person and be like, so-and-so created a fire in their house and it got really, really bad. Then they go to the next person and be like, so-and-so, oh, they created a big, huge fire. And then all of a sudden the story completely changes because it goes from this person to that person.
Oh, yeah,
it is. And then the story changes and it's completely
definitely
different story.
changed over the years, over the thousands of years that it existed. It did. I think the overall message is still there, but
Yes.
but the details and probably the way we look at it definitely probably changed. But what I'm saying is that let's think about it. The Vatican alone has millions and millions and millions of secret documents about the whole world. Of stuff that happened in the world, in the ancient world or whatnot. Millions. Do you know what that mean? One secret document could change your perspective towards something.
Butterfly effect.
Think about
Butterfly
millions.
Butterfly. One little thing can
Millions.
change everything.
Millions.
Butterfly effect is huge. It's really.
We
it's a
have
true
millions of secret documents.
So
you
many.
gonna tell me we know the truth?
thing. No.
How we do know the
You
truth
have to-
when you have millions of documents that's being kept secret?
And if you
How?
really took the time to look at each religion,
So who?
they all kind of.
So that's why I don't.
believe the same thing,
That's why I have no. I don't have no faith in no preacher or none of these fools, because I know all of them are lying. Because they know that they
How
don't
many
know.
have them had a Rolls Royce?
Because they know.
Give
What
to the church,
what
give
worries
to
me is that why can't just one of them come out and be like, you know what, this is what I think. This is what I think. But at the same time, we don't know everything because a lot of stuff are being hidden. So until we see what's being hidden, until we see those documents and go over those documents, we cannot make a definite conclusion
Code is
that's what's in the Bible is 100% truth.
Da Vinci Code is a huge example. It is based on true facts. They really don't know a lot.
No,
of stuff.
but we don't
There's
know if
codes.
it's true or not.
We don't.
Exactly.
We don't. Same thing goes to the Egyptian culture. All the different religions. I believe that there's a right in every single religion and there's a wrong in every single religion. I believe that we were programmed to believe in different religions to go against each other.
But what is it that another thing that I do believe there was another civilization before us.
110,000%.
I believe there was, and I don't know why the scholar and the
different version of us.
theologist sitting there arguing that there's like thousands of evidence. The elephant in the room. There's thousands of evidence of things that remain that let's think about it. For example, the pyramid. We can't even duplicate that now.
Oh no, we can't. I believe aliens were 110,000% involved in the pyramid.
We can't even duplicate that.
1,000,000,000%.
And we call ourselves smarter than them. How are you smarter than we can't even duplicate that?
You definitely watch.
I watch
that.
everything. I mean, I pay attention. I do research on a lot of
There's
things.
so many different, like,
I like things that kind of like
artifacts
sparks
and
my mind.
ancient like things that were built by people. It involves more than just math, physics, and all that. Like, there's so much involved that you have to question if there was something other than a human being, and you have to also look at what did elephants used to be.
No, but think about it.
What did elephants used to be? And saber-tooth tigers.
Oh yeah, that's the family tree. Yeah.
So how are you gonna sit there and say there wasn't a different form of us human beings? You can't say that.
Yeah, because there was different forms of you would call reptile or mammals that was there before.
110,000%. Like how can you sit there and say that we weren't a different form of ourselves? I 110,000% agree with you on this. 100%. Like, and then when I watched a documentary about like building certain ancient artifacts such as the pyramid, they still to this very day cannot explain how in that time they built something so complicated. They can't do it to this very day. They still can't.
With precise mathematical fucking precision.
There was something magical in this
situation. Precision that aligned with celestial object.
And people don't want to believe it, but it's okay.
That a lot, mind you, in those days, there was no way. While we believe the Mayan and the Sumerian, they were knowledgeable about the cosmos and everything. But how did they learn that knowledge? Where did they get that knowledge?
It's incredible. Pompeii, for example.
And those knowledge, we discovered those knowledge again centuries later. It took centuries later to rediscover those knowledge.
And what about Pompeii?
Yes.
You guys heard the story about Pompeii? They were very intelligent people. These people were way smaller than what we are today.
The Atlantean.
And these people,
Sumerians,
they created literally a machine function that was so advanced. How? And all of a sudden, that whole entire city was wiped out by a volcanic, right? Fire. So that leaves us with very little evidence on what was what, but that's another thing. There's so much in history.
Well, since they're predicting that the Earth will shift on its axis, or a couple of degrees or whatnot, we might not make it anyway. If that happened, we all will die. Because some of us will freeze to death, and so because there's different climates and different position in the planet. Some of us will just freeze to death because it would be unbearable to live in those conditions.
And we are not going to sugarcoat.
There's no way we're gonna be alive in these conditions. We're not ready for that.
No.
But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of. It's hard to dispute those evidence. Like they're starting to find, like right now, they're starting to find that there's cities buried underneath the Atlantic. Antarctica.
Churches too. Churches.
Buried under the snow and under the ice in Antarctica.
Oh
like
my
they
goodness.
did info, whatever.
Preserved bodies.
Whatever they use with their satellites to kind of see. They can see through the ice. They see, bro. They have found life in the depth of behind under the Antarctica. They didn't believe that was possible.
Did you say Canada?
Antarctica.
Okay.
They didn't believe that life could exist in those conditions, and they exist.
This world is
where it's cold. It's so cold. There's nothing will survive. But then again, they found life.
This world is just
so how these things survive thousands and thousands of years underneath the Antarctica. Thousands of years, they found them living little microscopic life or organism or other stuff that's going on over there. Living creatures down there.
At this point, I have to honestly say that I don't think that anything.
So why
is
people keep playing? It's like me coming in and saying, "Oh, hey, can you grab the red cup for me?" And then some fool standing there like, "What red cup? I don't see no red cup." Fuck you mean?
People are
It's
afraid.
right there.
Do you know what it
that's
is?
not red. What the? What do you mean? It's right
We
there.
are programmed to have a president. No, we are programmed to have a president and have our government say everything's okay. We have everything under control. We're used to someone being a Captain Save-A-Ho. We're used to someone coming and saving us from something. But the
No,
fact
but-
of the matter is, stop being afraid and just face the facts.
No, but the thing is, a lot of
We're not
people,
gonna
a lot of
sugarcoat.
people are comfortable with that victim mentality because they don't
Be
need to
comfortable,
try.
but being comfortable is not going to get you anywhere.
They don't need to try
What are you
because
gonna do
as
when-
long as you can use victim, or you could pull out the victim card, you okay. That's how they. I'm sorry.
But
that's how they feel.
until shit really comes down, then are you
Oh
okay?
yeah. Let me give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Feminism.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the dumbest idea ever. Let me explain why. Before you get it, just in case you're a fan of feminism and whatever ideas and whatever ideas that's been on the planet since day one. There's always you have been able to defend itself. Even though if they get wiped out, I've been able to defend itself by itself. Feminism is more like you guys don't need men. I'm not talking about you as person. I'm just saying in general. I'm speaking in general.
Everyone's
Y'all don't
entitled to
need.
their
They
own-
don't need men to do this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
But think about it. Remove men from the equations. Just remove them. Not just remove them totally.
Then
And then
they
now
live
from
life.
that point on today, you're going to live your life without men. Okay? Nobody's going to build you anything. Nobody's going to do the electrical thing, the computerized thing, which is all led by men, I might say. Building things, food things, construction, every major construction that ever existed have been done by men. Just name it. I'm not just saying it, that's just what it is, facts. Majority of it have been done by men, as far as the hard labor thing. Hold on,
Okay.
let me put you on an island. Feminism. And then everybody gets away from you. Now you built the infrastructure. Let's see you do it.
So, with every infrastructure, there's a foundation. And you need a foundation, which is like our bodies. Our bodies are our foundation. The foundation is our bones. Just like any house or anything like that, you need foundation, you need insulation, you need electricity, you also need plumbing. Do I feel like that
All
can
led
only-
by men.
Do I feel like that can only be led by men? Absolutely not.
No, I didn't.
I do feel like-
Stop.
no.
I'm not saying it's completely led by me.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying all the
That it was created by men.
infrastructures, everything that was heavy duty that was created, that was constructed and whatever,
Right.
were done by men. It's facts.
Can I say this? What if women were given the opportunity?
Who's stopping them?
May I say this? Back in the day, that was stopping them. Can I say something? What if women were given the
What's
same...
stopping you guys now?
What if women were given the same opportunity as men back in the day to create these things?
To create them, to build them.
And to be heard. There are probably plenty
We're
of
just
women...
wired different.
They're
Can we accept that?
May I say something?
We are wired different.
wildly...
I'm talking about men and women.
Just because we're wired differently doesn't mean that we don't have a different
I
level
didn't
of
say that. I'm
intelligence.
saying
Okay.
the majority of us, let's just say this. The majority of us, men are more interested. It's the interest. I'm not talking about as far as like being able to do things, but the mentally that
Men are logical.
our genes are wired to men are more likely to go outside and go do things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Women goes outside and do things too. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we prone to veer toward what we are interested in.
Exactly.
It's not because you were
So-
stopped to do it. It's not because yes, there was that from back in the days or whatnot. I understand that, but times has changed a long time ago. Why is that I haven't seen the proof of so-called women can do this, but we haven't done it?
I'm going to explain this. Men are logical and women are emotional.
I have nothing to do with.
It does. It does.
But go ahead.
Women, like, are nurturers and our emotions
We
get involved.
wired that way.
But we're wired that way, but we were also accustomed to being brought up that way. That women are supposed to just be emotional and focus on being mothers and being wives and focus on doing that.
Oh.
And men are focused on being providers. But
Can I ask you a
we're now
question?
living in a society where people don't know
Who's
their
in
role.
charge of raising the kids?
The mother.
So why is that they never take responsibility for raising the kids to end up a certain ways? The only time they take credit for is when they turn out to be a positive thing. But as soon as they turn out to be a negative thing, it's not their fault, it's society's fault. But then again, you the one responsible for raising those kids. I don't understand. It's like me.
But it's not just the woman
It's
that's
like me
responsible.
being.
It's very important for
I
the
didn't
man to
say
be.
that. I
Sorry.
did not
I
say
know.
that. I did
know.
not say men is not. Men
you
are.
didn't.
Men got their things in there too. Of course,
They do.
of course. You know, but I see that. I don't know how we got to a point where now we are, every time we get into a discussion about certain things, it has to be absolute. Remember what I said earlier? I don't believe in absolute. Of course, there's always exception to rules. There's always exception to every rule that exists on the planet. There's no such thing as an absolute thing, because things change. That's why they say things change. But what I'm saying is, everything we judge on the planet is according to statistic, meaning that the majority rules. We've all heard that. Majority rules. So if majority rules, when the majority rules about certain things and things goes wrong, why does that majority take responsible for whatever goes wrong? Why it's always the fault of somebody else? But as soon as the thing goes right, they take credit for it.
Because nobody wants to.
Because seriously?
No, no, you said that. Why is it that nobody takes responsibility when things go wrong, but they take responsibility?
And I'm talking
when things
about
go right?
both sides.
I'm talking about in general. Some people are cowards. And
That's what I said,
They
both
don't
sides.
want to take responsibility for what's wrong. They want to point the finger at someone. Now, I've learned over time that you get a lot more respect when you say, "Okay, I fucked up. I did this. I'm not gonna make any excuses. I fucked up. I'm a human being. I made a mistake. I fucked up."
Simple words.
It's simple. And it's okay. You're human. We make mistakes. The key thing is to learn from those mistakes. You're not bad for making it. It's not learning from it that makes you bad. If you keep doing the same shit over and over again, you're not learning. Then you have to question that person's mental state.
No, well, the thing is, I'm not truly, honestly, I'm not gonna blame people 100%. Let me tell you why I'm not gonna blame 100%. Because we're in that new generation of indoctrination. Well, there's always been indoctrination since day one, whatnot, or whatever. But nowadays, there's more tools. They have in their hand a lot more tools to help him manipulate the masses a little bit better than let's say they could have done in the 60s, the 50s, and whatever. They had like one avenue. It could have been radio, the newspaper, or TV.
Yes.
But now they have so much different ways and places or whatnot to do this that it becomes a little bit more challenging to resist.
But this is where the parenting comes in along.
I wish we can continue this conversation. I might
Right.
let you have the last words or whatnot because time is doing this, whatever. But we
Well-
will come back and do this again.
Well, this is where parenting comes along. Are you going to follow society? What are you going to do? That's where you take charge. For example, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or whatever. When I look at my daughter, I tell her straight up, you don't blame somebody else for what you do. You do something wrong, have the courage, stand up, and take responsibility for that. That comes a long way. You will get recognized. You have courage. You have
I
guts,
totally agree
have
with you because a
balls.
lot of us don't. A lot of us, yeah, I put
It's
myself
okay
in
to
it.
be wrong.
A lot
And
of
when
us don't
it
take
takes a lot more
accountability
strength.
for. A lot of us do not want to take accountability for when we fucked up.
It takes a lot more strength to say I'm sorry about something.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot more strength to not tell someone to fuck off when you really want them to.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot more strength to hold your tongue. It takes a lot more strength and discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn that because I used to have a huge temper.
So basically,
That's
most
one
of it comes down to education, basically.
that and meditate. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Meditation teaches you discipline.
Yeah, that's
It
one.
teaches
That's
you how
one.
to really
That's one
control
tools. Yeah, that's
your
one.
emotions. Your
that's one
emotions should
tools.
not ever take control over what you do. Because if you do that, you're gonna end up in jail or killing someone.
That's one tools that works for some people. Yeah, but
You know
not
what I mean?
everybody
Like,
has the patience
Not everybody.
to meditate.
Everyone
But,
has to find their own niche. Sorry.
Any last? No. Go ahead. You fine. Any last word? For the people before we get out of here, which was a very interesting conversation. I wanted to kind of, I know usually I'm yelling and screaming and making all that noise and whatnot, but we're gonna have different type of way of doing this show, like different topics, different ways of approaching certain things. It depends on the guest, of course, or whatnot, they and the energy or whatnot. And I felt like today, we should have had some kind of conversation about what's really going on in the world. I think it's needed sometime from
Yes.
time to time to have those type of conversation
Absolutely.
to spark the brain, because you never know whose brain we sparking right now to do a better job and come up with some kind of better solution for
Absolutely.
for the world or whatnot or whatever. But any last word you want to tell the people before we get out of here?
I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm just really, really happy that I was able to like voice my opinion and have a voice in this situation. And I respect your opinion, and I'm sure you respect mine.
I do too. Yes.
It comes a long way, and thank you guys for listening so much. Like, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to voice what I had to say, and thank you so much for the opportunity for having me
You're
here.
welcome. I totally appreciate you for being here. Thank you for coming. You know whatnot, and I believe this is your first
This is my first podcast
Yes, there you go.
that I've been featured in.
And I wanted to keep it cool. And the reason why, I'm gonna be honest, the reason why I did this show the way I did it today is it's to sort of like I don't know, I'm helping. I like to help people out in whatever way I can, whether it be with knowledge, whether it be physical, whether it be whatever. It is what it is. The moment that you told me you wanted to do a podcast, I felt like it was my duty to kind of like usher you into the world of podcasts the way we just did that podcast. The way
And
it
I'm
is.
humbly grateful for that.
And I didn't want to do like a wild podcast where we just like whatever. We
Thank
could have
you
been having
so
crazy
much.
fun and
No,
whatnot.
'cause I was a
but
little
I wanted
nervous,
you
yeah.
to feel kind of like get an idea of feelings of how when you're alone or you have guests and you're doing your podcast, and especially the topics that you want to attack.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get you to get a feel for it. And whatever you saying and doing and whatnot, and the interaction, and when to back down, when to be aggressive, when to whatever. And I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose like that, so because I just wanted you to have the experience,
Exactly.
a little bit of experience on how to approach doing podcasts, because it's a little different. And I've learned that it took me a while to learn, because transitioning from radio to podcast, it's not the same thing. Because when I had the radio, I had a live DJ.
Right.
Live DJ, I had co-hosts and whatnot, and it's like a party. You know what I mean? It was like a party, like non-stop. You know what I mean? It was just the energy was always like you never had a chance to kind of simmer down to kind of, because the music is loud. People, it's just like. And then
Exactly.
with podcasts, you can actually
Say your
do
truth.
different type of things, whatever with it with the podcast. You could turn up, you could calm it down, you could be in the between, and you could talk about whatever subject you want to talk about.
I would say the most challenging part for me,
Hmm.
I do suffer from ADHD. Yes, I do.
I didn't know this at all.
So normally a person with ADHD has a tendency of interrupting. And
No, you did quite fine.
I think the hardest part was for me to not interrupt. And we don't interrupt to be rude. We interrupt because we have to say what we have to say before we forget.
Then my ADHD is way up
So
there,
I've-
because I interrupt all the time. I can't help it.
I just want to have that respect
Mm-hmm.
to let that person say what they need to say and get it out. Like, I want them to have the same respect for me. So thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome, Eddie. Eddie, we pretty much done though. Thank you people for watching us. You already know what time it is. Next week we're gonna come back with some more people, some more subject matters and artists and all that good stuff. And you never know what's gonna pop up over here. That's the reason why I do the show. I love it, because when you expect certain things, you're gonna see me do different type of things in here, different type of topics, subject matters, people, lifestyle, religion, faith, politics, all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go in every type of direction. You know what I'm saying? That's the I want it to be that way because I don't want to be I don't want to be put in a box where oh, this is the type of show he does. Yeah, we tend to lean toward music a lot because I'm a big fan. You know what I mean? You know, my background being a promoter and love music and do music and all that stuff or whatnot or whatever and partying and all that stuff. I enjoy music. I enjoy having artists come into it, whatnot. But sometimes we're gonna kind of shift, you know, shift the things a little bit so you can get a little different aspect of what it is that you know is going on in the world or whatnot, or our brain per se. So thank you, appreciate you. We out of here. Till next time. Peace. Yes, Eddie. We out.